Okay, now folks, I am sitting next to the Buddha's, the stone on which the Buddha's footmark is. This is the stone when the Buddha looked for the last time at Magadh. He left his footmark on the stone. Folks, on the right hand of the screen, you can see the footmark on the rock, a broken piece of rock, folks. And see, there it is, the footmark on the broken piece of rock on the central right hand of the screen. Folks, here it is, and you can see the chakra is easily visible on the footmark. Folks, this is the place where the Buddha left his footmark, and this is the route he took across the Ganges, straight from here, folks. Now, how did I come to this conclusion? How did I find this footmark? To understand this, view this video till the end. I'm sure my Buddhist friends would like to see the Buddha's footmark when he left his footmark on a rock when he looked for the last time at Magadh before crossing the Ganges over to Kotigama. Now, I'm sure you would like to see that. Folks, I have already shown you the, first Ashokan Buddha relic stupa, which is Pandarak. The first Ashokan Buddha relic stupa is Pandarak, which is now a sun temple. The cupola of the stupa is prayed to as the sun temple, and in that video I showed you why it is prayed at as the sun temple, because Zhang tells us a unique story, and basically now proof that cupola, Pandarak cupola, is the sun temple, is Buddha's relic stupa, Ashoka's first Buddha relic stupa near his palace area, is the Buddha's footmark when he crossed the Ganges towards Kotigama during his Mahaparinirvana. According to Zhang, the Buddha left his footmark on the rock and told Anand that he was looking at Magadh for the last time. So folks, that rock is very important because it is proof that the Pandarak Sun Temple is Ashoka's first Buddha relic stupa, according to Zhang. So folks, and the rock is just next to the sun temple. It is on the stupa itself, on the banks of the Ganges, and Zhang tells a unique story about it. He says that Shashank Raja of Gauda. Actually, Shashank is a Buddhist mispronunciation of chandelier. Because the people of Gauda, Gadwa, they are of the chandelier subgotra of Bhardwaj Gotra. So basically, their ancestor was the one who was destroying all Buddhist artifacts. Anyway, he came and he threw this rock into the Ganges, and it, according to Zhang, it jumped out, and he broke it into pieces and threw it into the Ganges, and according to Zhang, it jumped out. So Shashank left the rock as it was and went away. Now folks, I asked the priest of the Sun Temple, Pandarak Sun Temple, which is the Buddha's relic stupa, actually, if there was any rock near on the banks of the Ganges nearby. He said yes, there is a rock but it is broken in pieces, and it is a black rock, so we call it Koyla Rani. So what do you call it? It's a black rock and it's broken. But till then, they hadn't noticed that that rock had footmarks. They didn't have noticed that that rock had footmarks. Anyway, that gentleman, the Brahmin, he took me to the banks of the Ganges. It is just within the village, just next to the Sun Temple. And he showed me the pile of rocks. He told me that no one prays to it, but everyone respects it and fears it. What people do is they, clean the grass, which grows over the rocks. They plug the grass, they clean it, but no one touches the rocks, because the hearsay is, if anyone touches the rock, he dies. If anyone touches the rock, he dies. Now this tallies with the story of Shashank breaking it up and throwing it into the Ganges, and the rock jumping out, and Shashank going away. Folks, for 2000 years, this rock has been commanding fear on the local people of this area. For 2000 years, this rock has been commanding fear and awe of the local people of this area. So folks, let's see what Zhang has to say, and then I will show you about what Zhang has to say about the rock, and then I will show you where the rock is in satellite pictures, right on the banks of the Ganges, right opposite Kotigama and the rock itself. So folks, after that you can see pictures of the rock with the footmark. So when I went and studied the rock, I saw the footmarks. And folks, the sad part is, Shashank, it seems, got an engraving done of a man raping an elephant. Now what is an elephant? What is an elephant? See, elephant was the Buddhists. The lion represented the Hindus, the Kshatriyas, and the elephant represented the Buddhists. The elephant is huge, it is kind, it is herbivorous. It doesn't eat meat, folks. So basically, that was Buddhism. Huge, kind, and vegetarian. So basically, this engraving on that rock of a man raping an elephant is Sanatan, the Hindu Sanatan Dharma, raping the Buddhists, folks. Anyway, so this brings another light to this story, and check out what Zhang has to say. Now let's see, after showing us the first Ashokan Buddha relic stupa, let's see what he says. By the side of the stupa, and not far from it, in a vihara, is a great stone on which Tathagat walked. There is still the impression of both his feet on it. Now, by the side of the first Ashokan Buddha relic stupa is this stone with the Buddha's feet impression on it. About 18 inches long. The feet impression is about 18 inches long and 6 inches broad. Both the right and left impress have the circle sign, and the 10 toes are all fringed with figures of flowers or flower scrolls and forms of fishes which glisten brightly in the light morning. In old time, Tathagat, being about to attain nirvana, was going northward to Khushinagar. When turning around to the south and looking back at Magadh, he stood upon this stone and said to Anand, "Now For every last time I have leave this foot impression, being about to attain nirvana and looking at Magadh. 100 years hence there shall be a King Ashoka. He shall build here his capital. So when he was looking at Magadh for the last time, he said, I leave this foot impression. So folks, now what happened to that stone with the footmark? Lately Shashank Raja, when he was overthrowing and destroying the law of Buddha, forthwith came to the place where the stone is for the purpose of destroying the sacred marks. Having broken it into pieces, it came whole again and ornamental figures as before. Then he flung it into the river Ganges, but it came back to its old place. So folks, Shashank left it at that. Now this is a unique story because the rock is over there, and it is just as Huen Tsang says. Huen Tsang said next to the first Buddha relic stupa is a rock, folks, up here. Up here is a rock, and up here in this area, this is up here is the rock, and this rock is proof that the Pandarak Sun Temple is Buddha's first relic stupa. Because you have to read Huen Tsang, see, you have to read Huen Tsang again, see. Addressed the king and commanded the genie to go to his appointed place and regard the sun. So, the sun temple. Waited for the sign. Then at noon, all the Arhats by his spiritual power stretched forth his hand and concealed the sun. At the place where the stupas had been built for completion, all the genie observing this event at the same moment concluded the meritorious undertaking. Now by the side of the stupa and not far from it in a vihara is a great stone. So by the side of the first Buddha relic stupa. So folks, the great stone is here, and it's called Koyla Rani. It's made of black ink. And the sun temple is here, folks. Pundarakh Sun Temple is just close by. So that rock is proof that Pundarakh Sun Temple is, see, nowadays actually it is Pandarak Sun Temple. Pandarak Sun Temple, but people don't understand the meaning of Pandarak. They Sanskritized it to Pundarakh, and I'm going to make them de-Sanskritize it back to Pandarak Surya Mandir, folks. And they pray to the cupola of the stupa. Folks, check out the pictures of the cupola and the temple itself.
Okay, now folks, I am on the banks of the Ganges and near the place where the Buddha left his footmark on the rock. See, here is the rock, and you can see on the right hand of the screen the broken rock with the footmark on it, folks, with the chakra. Folks, this proves that this rock proves that Pandarak Sun Temple is Ashoka's first Buddha relic stupa. You can see the footmark with the chakra on it and the fish mark which Zhang described. Folks, Shashank broke this rock and threw it in the Ganges, and according to Zhang, he jumped back again. And see, look at this. This is a man raping an elephant. A man raping an elephant. Folks, elephant represented Buddhism. Because when Mahamaya dreamt of a white elephant entering her body when she became pregnant. Folks, see, this is inter-religious war of those days. Anyway, this is the rock, and this
is the rock on which the Buddha is supposed to have put his footmark and looked for the last time at Magadh in his Mahaparinirvana, folks. This is the rock on which he left his footmark and told Anand that I am leaving my footmark, I am looking at Magadh for the last time. And this is we are on the banks of the Ganges next to the footmark, and this is the exact route the Buddha took to cross the Ganges in his Mahaparinirvana after leaving his footmark on the rock. And later on, Ashoka, when he made the 84,000 relic stupas, he made the first Buddha relic stupa next to this footmark, which is today the Pandarak Sun Temple, folks. And the footmark is proof that Pandarak Sun Temple is Ashoka's first Buddha relic stupa, because this is what Zhang had written, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something from it. And if you appreciated it, please follow and like this page and tell your friends about this video and this great find.